Hello and happy Flip It Friday. It is Friday and it is time for us to flip the lyrics of a song upside down and take a look at some of the lyrics and the meaning of the songs. So we're going to take today's song, which is It's Impossible, or It's Possible, by Rodgers and Hammerstein, and be able to take that song from Cinderella and just find some hidden gems in that. So welcome to Flip It Friday. I see some people are joining in, and my name is Beth Myers. I'm a Law of Attraction Empowerment Coach, mentor, and speaker, and I'm the owner of Arrival Coaching. And I welcome you to part of the Thrive movement, which is helping us to take the songs from Music Monday that I post and be able to discover the gems that are there in the meaning of the lyrics of those songs, and help empower us for our week, and continuing through to the conversation on Flip It Friday, which is every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So, hey, Kathy, so glad that you're here today. And Kim, always glad to have you join in as well. And part of the Thrive movement for Arrival Coaching is being able to take an empowerment word for each week. And this week's empowerment word is possibilities. And so we're going to dive deeper with the song from Cinderella, one of my all-time favorite songs. Kathy, you might remember me watching that movie every year that it came out on TV. And a dear person to me gave me the video, the VHS of Leslie Ann Warren's live version of It's Possible, or Impossible, it's actually the name of the song. And but I always like to flip it. We're on Flip It Friday to It's Possible. So if you're here, please say hello, put your name in the comments, and be able to send me some love, send me some hearts. If you're not able to type your name in, if you're watching the replay, please let me know by saying hello. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to raise your vibration and your energy with some music and conversation. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Rodgers and Hammerstein's song of Impossible, and It's Possible. Hey, Patty, I'm so glad to see that you're joining in today. Thanks for joining in on the conversation. We're just getting ready to get started, where we were going to dive into the lyrics of the song Impossible. And this song really has a lot of silliness to it, and it has the word impossible as its title. And I love the fact that Audrey Hepburn said once, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible." So ever since I've heard that quote, I love to think about possibilities and remember that I'm possible. So every time that I hear the lyrics of this song where they say the word impossible, I think I'm possible. I'm possible. And this week, as I've chosen this song and brought more focus and awareness for that for myself, I hear that song in my head and hear it instead of impossible. It's just really I'm possible. And then the part where it talks about it's possible. And I want you to think about something that maybe you thought about at one time that was impossible, that you didn't think was going to happen, that you didn't think would maybe be a reality. You wished that it maybe would be, but you just weren't sure. If you want to type that in the comment, feel free to do that. But put something down that you really thought was impossible at one point in time. And being able to then, let's flip it and look at what you did create and what the possibilities are that have presented themselves to you. So I know 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, I said, when I retire, I'm going to be a life coach. And at the time, it didn't seem possible. Not impossible necessarily, it just didn't seem possible at that particular time. And I didn't know when that was going to occur, but with focus and belief that it was possible that I could retire and be a life coach, that's what has transpired. That possibility has happened for me. And part of that was believing that it was possible. And a lot of times it really is important to really stop and think about, well, what is it that we really want? You know, what is that possibility that's out there that we desire to create? And even though we might stop and think about it being an impossibility at first, we can really remember that we can create what we do desire. And part of that has to do with what we think, what we say, and what we do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I see some people have just jumped on. Susan, so glad that you are here. Hello, my friend. So glad that you are joining in today as well as we talk about possibilities, which is the empowerment word for this week. And we were just getting ready to dive into talking about something maybe that you haven't had thought at one time was not possible. If you think of that and want to put that in the comments, feel free to do that, or at least have that in your mind. And we're going to look at and play with the possibilities. And one of the things that's really important to keep in mind are the words that we use. And words are very powerful. And with this song, that's really what came to light when I was doing the musical musing and writing that to be sent out on Wednesdays for people to receive that in their email box. I was like, oh, there's not a lot to talk about with the lyrics of this song. But really there is. It's that underlying piece of the words that we use. So that's what I was called to bring forth today, is talking a little bit about the words and being able to flip words, just like Audrey Hepburn did with her quote about nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. And in looking at the words that we think first, then we say, and we bring meaning to them through those thoughts and when we speak them. And I don't know if you remember or heard about in the 90s, there was a scientist that, Masaru Emoto, and talking about speaking words to ice crystals and seeing what happened to them, and speaking unkind words and speaking kind words. And the article that I actually picked for the empowerment gift for today, which I'll post in the links a little bit later, actually is a great article, perfect for October, for Halloween coming up, The Scary Power of Negative Words. And it's really, it brings more focus to the word impossible and flipping that to the possibilities. When we look at it as I'm possible, then we can bring more power to bringing that loving kindness to what we speak. So part of thinking about words and possibilities and what we create, one of the things is being able to notice. Having that awareness and noticing what you're thinking, being aware of those words that are floating in your head. When you make a mistake, what do you say? Do you say, oh, I'm such an idiot? Or do you say, wow, oops, try again? You know, how do you approach that mistake that might be made? That bumping into something, I'm such a klutz. Or, that jumped out and I didn't even see it there. Or even that brings awareness to not being aware, but just being, need to be more aware. Think about the words that we say to one another. And if this were your most precious grandchild or your most precious loved one, how would you speak to them? You know, many times we don't speak to ourselves in that way. And those words have such power. And that's something that I'd like for you to consider today with possibilities, is being able to consider the words that you think, that you then speak, and the actions that are then created from that. So Kim's saying, being home, working with you, and allowing me to help my family. That's something that you didn't think was a possibility. Is that what you mean, Kim? Can you give me a thumbs up if that's what you were thinking? Okay, that's what I thought, where I thought you were going with that. And look at the possibilities that have been created. That seemed impossible. But remembering we are possible, I'm possible, you're possible, and looking at the possibilities that have been created. So again, those words that we speak to ourselves, that we speak to other people. Somebody cuts you off in traffic and we give them some choice words. We say those out loud and think of the energy that is created by that. Are you putting out that kindness? Or are you putting out that unkindness? That calling the person an idiot, calling them another choice word. When we put that energy out there, it's there in our being. And we're more than 70% water. And the Emoto experiment really talked about the power of water being a substance and absorbing the words that were coming at those crystals, those ice crystals, and how it affected them. And that experiment is actually referenced in the article that will be in the free empowerment gift, if you're not aware of that one. But one of the things I'd like for you to think about is notice what you're saying. What are you saying in your head? What are you saying out loud? And then don't judge it. Don't judge that as, oh, that was a terrible thing to say. Oh, I was being unkind. Really think about it as, oh, wow. Let me see what I could say a little bit differently. And think about it as being a kind thought. Wow. Just noticing it. That might be the only thing you have to say, is just notice that you bumped into something. Somebody cut you off in traffic, and send loving, kind thoughts to that person. Send loving, kind thoughts to yourself. So to get us in that space, what I'd like for you to do right now is just take a moment to think of the possibilities of shifting. We talked about emotions in previous episodes. Last week was opportunities. And the week before that was momentum. And we talked about emotions and how you need to name them, claim them, shift them, and then flip them. And so one of the things that I'd like for you to think about today is being able to stop and think about, where are you right now? How are you feeling? Are you leaning more toward that loving kindness feeling? Being in more of a higher vibrating emotion? Or are you feeling more unkind and more in a lower vibrating state of, not feeling the energy today? Maybe some things happened and they've been building up. So let's just take a minute to get grounded and to take in some loving kindness to help energize our bodies, again, which are human forms, over 70% water. Let's think about some things to take in and just help us with breathing. So we're going to do a loving kindness waterfall today. So I'd like for you to just sit where you are, get comfortable, and take a really deep breath in and breathe out. And take another deep breath in. Think of taking in the sun rays and breathing those in from outside. And breathing out. And breathe out anything that isn't serving you. Those words that maybe you've taken in, that energy you've taken in from somebody else. Send it back. It's not yours. You don't have to keep it. And now take another deep breath in and breathe in the sun's energy, the warmth. Feel that in your body. Ready? Take a deep breath in. And breathe it out. Breathe out anything you'd like to release. And I want you to really kind of feel what that feels like in your body right now. I know my body's just feeling more relaxed from that. And now I want you to close your eyes and just imagine. We're just going to take a little field trip for a second. Close your eyes. And I want you to imagine walking over to the edge of a body of water, a pool, where there is a waterfall. And you're going to step into that pool. It's nice warm water. It's not really cold, but it's nice warm water. And there's a nice gentle waterfall that you're going to go step underneath. And now that we've released some of that energy, I want you to stand underneath the waterfall and imagine it. The water coming in the top of your head, flowing over your body, washing your body from the head, top of your head, over your shoulders, down your arms, the trunk of your body, over your legs, and feeling that waterfall kind of cleansing your body of all of the unkind thoughts, the unkind energy that maybe you've taken in. And this next time, I want you to feel the waterfall filling your body from starting at your toes. Feel that waterfall starting to fill your body, filling you starting at your toes, moving to your ankles, up your legs, your thighs, to your power center where your belly button is, up to your shoulders, and feeling it now filling all the way up to your head, filling you with that loving kindness that's coming from that waterfall, that you are filled and refreshed. You're feeling that energy as you step out of the pool that you were just in, and you're stepping out onto the edge of the bank, and you're feeling filled with loving kindness from that waterfall. And the sun is beating down on the top of your head, really energizing each of the water crystals that are in your body. And you are now filled with loving kindness to move through your day and to leave behind all that didn't serve you in that pool of water. So when you're ready, I'd like for you to come back to where you're sitting, back with us on this broadcast. And I want you to just take another deep breath in and breathe out. And if you feel like typing in how you're feeling right now, let me know if you're feeling that kindness. If you're feeling the possibilities of resetting the rest of your day to move forward with more flow and grace and just awareness today, awareness of what kinds of thoughts and words are you speaking to yourself and sharing with others. Are they kind? Are they unkind? Are they full of possibilities and opportunities to move you through your day and to help others move through their day? Susan, I see that you commented earlier about something that you didn't ever think was possible, that you never imagined that you would become a coach. And you are an amazing coach. And I appreciate the possibilities that you help hold for each person that you coach and how you've touched others' lives and touched my life. Kim's saying that she's feeling full and energized, full of those possibilities and the energy to bring forth. Because remember, we always have a choice. We have a choice of what we choose to think, what we choose to feel, what we choose to say, what we choose to do with our body. And thank you, Susan, for saying thank you. And I appreciate your kind words. Patty, you said feeling positive today. Last night was my retirement party, which I never wanted to happen, as I did not want to leave teaching. Last night was a positive experience, and prior to that, I had the opportunity to help a parent with support for her child with special needs. I know now that it's possible for me to go on despite the past year I experienced. It's possible for me to help other people with children with special needs, and you're feeling good about going, I'm assuming saying good, going forward. And Patty, thank you so much for sharing that today. Look at the possibilities. Yes, there are things that happen that we don't have control over a lot of times, and we need to, it kind of helps us to reset and reframe. And we can look at it as everything's over, there's nothing good, it's a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day or life. Or we can choose to say, hey, I want to look at that differently. I want to look at it with possibilities. And as one chapter ends or one door closes, another one opens. And you are given that sign, that opportunity to help you see that possibility. And I appreciate you sharing, Patty. And I know what an amazing teacher you are, what an amazing support person you are. And I know you can bring that forth in your retirement and still continue teaching. I'm retired from teaching and from being a school counselor, but I still get to teach and share possibilities with others. And I do that through coaching. And you can reinvent yourself and decide how you want it to be. So thank you, Patty, for sharing, and congratulations to you. And thank you for all your years of service to the students and the families and the staff that you have served. And I'm grateful that I got to work with you. Susan saying, Patty, you are on the blank page. What a beautiful place to be. Yes, Susan, I agree with you. It is a beautiful place to be. And starting to, write on that beautiful page of how you'd like it to be with all the possibilities that are open to you. Well, my hope is for today is that you're able to take with you the possibilities and recognize that you get to decide what those are. And you get to recreate and create your day each and every day. And I thank you for joining in today, whether you were here live or whether you're watching the replay. And just as music is energy and vibration, so are you and your emotions. And I hope you take time to raise your energy and your vibration through music, inspiration, or whatever feeds your soul. And I hope you remember to be true, be you, and to thrive. Have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you next time, next Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Take care.